Hello, Gemini. It's Lynn from Tinker Tarot and Cartomancy. I've come back after a little hiatus there. I needed kind of a break, I think, and it was really good. I got to do, get things done, kind of have some rest and enjoy myself and breathe a little bit and think about what I wanted to do. But anyway, I have meditated on you. Well, I didn't really have to meditate on you, to tell you the truth, because I was debating on whether to do you or Leo, okay? And two birds came to the tree outside, and that's what made me decide. The twins, the balance, the birds, communication. They were talking and talking and talking up there. So I said, okay, I'll do Gemini. So, anyhow, I laid out your cards and we have everything ready to go. When I was shuffling your cards, these two jumped out. And you have the Five of Cups and the Page of Wands. So, you're very dissatisfied. I do that all the time. Very dissatisfied with your situation, what's going on in your life. And it could be in your relationships, your friendships, your love life, your family, at work, who knows. And it kind of looks pretty grim, If you look at this card, it looks pretty grim. And he's very focused on this broken cup, this one broken cup. However, there's all these other cups here. You see them? And even one way up here at the top. It seems out of reach. Like, I'll never be able to get that cup, However, there is a way, there is a way. And outside, things are like looking really nice. Things are coming to life. Coming to life, just like in the Page of Rods. On one side of the fence, it's all stone, nothing's living, it's the concrete world. And on the other side of the fence, there's nature, there's beautiful things in bloom, and the grass is green, and there's birds, and everything looks beautiful. And I think it's a big sign. It's a big message to you, Gemini. For one thing, that you need to get outside. Okay? You need to get outside because you're getting depressed sitting inside doing whatever it is you're doing. Okay? It's not helping anything that is bothering you. So there's a huge mess in here, not just in those two cards, but in the rest of the reading too, about getting outside, connecting with nature, and not just nature, but water in particular. So you may really connect with water a lot. You may need to go for a walk along the water, go fishing in your boat, or stand on the side of the lake, on the dock, and but somehow connect with water in some way, okay? Because one of the things about you getting out is you're going to run into people and have little chats and catch ups and stuff like this. And this really, like, you're a social person, I think, but you're unhappy or may possibly have some bitterness from an old situation, or something went wrong, something that perhaps was unfair that happened in your life or seemed really unfair to you. You could have been judged unfairly somehow, and could be resentful from that. Okay, that's just possible. But what I'm going to tell you, Gemini, is you are about to go through a huge transformation, as are a lot of us, right in this coming month or two, especially this month. So you're about to enter a huge transformation, a huge growth time, okay? And it's like you're going to complete a training, and you're going to complete the second part in a 3-part series, okay, in a 3-part thing. And it reminds me of maiden, mother, crone, you know. I don't know what the male, I should learn that. I will learn it so I can say that too. But anyway, and so this is going to be big. It's going to make huge positive changes in your life. All right. So first of all, you're going to come out of the cave. Out of the cave. Like I said, you're going to get outside. You've spent a lot of time really contemplating, considering, and trying to find the right path, the right way you kind of want to go about this, right? So in the Hermit, you're spending some time thinking, okay? And I don't think that you completed your conclusions or something, like you didn't come to really, but anyway, you're on your way to learn something new, okay? You're beginning a new creative path here. And like I said, I feel like you could be either at work beginning a training that will excel you in your position at work, but you're also going through a personal evolution where you're going to learn a valuable lesson in your life, and it's going to make you grow as a person and be able to get what you want, which is connections. You want connection with people. Again, we all do. So I don't blame you one bit. And so there you go. You're coming out of the cave, right? You're ready to ascend. You're ready to grow, to learn, to accept, perhaps, things about yourself and others, that we perhaps don't want to believe, but we just need to accept, And I want to show you something in a sec. So here's Temperance, right? You're starting to find balance in your emotions, realizing that everything doesn't need to be a fight. You can disagree with it without getting angry. You can love someone without doing everything for them. There's a healthy balance, and you're finding that in yourself here. And so this is a huge growth time. Like I said, this is like a completion of, the Temperance is the completion of the second of 3 training in your life. You're evolving a huge lesson because you've had to go through some sort of sacrifice, perhaps giving up a particular belief or the way you thought before or were thinking. You'd convinced yourself perhaps of something, you know what I mean? And when we go in seclusion, we're the only one we're listening to. So it's really good to get other people's objectives, ideas, and say, no, I don't think that. No, here, listen. And so now you can hear. But I also feel perhaps that some of you have already began this, okay, because this is the recent past. You've already began this journey and are learning a lot, I'm sure, but you're now willing to come out. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to show you. Both Judgment and the Temperance are both going up this staircase. See, they're both ascending into the light, into being able to weigh things, and that's what the Hermit does too, where before, I don't think you were, you may have had a tunnel vision way of thinking, and the Hermit is able to weigh all things, to consider the wisdom and the right path through this sort of thing. And so there you go, right? And after this experience, well, not, and probably during as well, you may require some rest. It could be exhausting, tiring, and go ahead, take a break. You also could be caring for someone at this time, helping, and so you're. It's kind of interesting because um so that's where you're trying to have this balance, between this giving and trying to give to yourself as well. But I feel a lot this is you needing rest at some point, feeling exhausted from this experience as you may, and that's okay. Just take time, withdraw for a bit and rest. It basically saying, all right, because you need it. You need rest when you need it. Um, yeah, I think you were dissatisfied with your outlook. Before I made some notes when I was looking at it. You may want to explore a new career, completely a new path, because you feel like you should be in a higher position too. Like you probably have a lot of experience and stuff being the hermit, right? And maybe aren't working in where you should be, and all of a sudden you're going to start feeling, you know what, I'm going to apply for the next hire. I'm going to apply to be supervisor now because I'm definitely qualified. I know everything about this business, sort of thing. So you may be willing to take a step up, but you also may have to move. I'm wondering if you may have to move. Okay, it's a possibility, because it talks about leaving somewhere to go somewhere in a few places. Here in the Five of Cups, leave the cave, go outside at the very least. Here, he wants to go to where there's growth, there's opportunity. He heard there's opportunity. Hey, if you go up north or down south or whatever. And again, here, crossing this, something that might be tricky for you, but you're willing to do it. You might be very, very excited to go, but very tired after you get there, after you've, completed this experience. But I also feel this is part of a bigger experience that you're going through. So, in your present, you have the World to start off with. The World, Nine of Cups, the High Priest, the Knight of Rods, and the Star in reverse. Okay? In the center of this whole reading, you have the High Priest. So, you're really looking for structure in your life, and you're realizing this is what you need. You need more structure, and you need sort of a plan. So it's just say you were to go and talk to a priest or a psychologist, your doctor. They're all going to give you a plan. They're going to make a plan of care for you, okay? And those are the steps that you need to take. And schedule your day, your week, your month, and have some sort of structure, okay, where you're enjoying feeding yourself in a few areas, okay? One is your spirituality, one is your health, one is your mental health, because we do feed our minds, and so be careful what you feed your mind. It's like be careful what you eat. And then our physical self, are we getting exercise? Are we moving? Are we and it's not just that too, like I was watching a thing about having calcium deposits in your body and sometimes in your joints, which I do. I have in both ankles, and now I'm getting it in one knee. And geez, it just hurts like crazy. It can really ache because the nerve or the muscle around it swells after, hours in the day of use. And they said instead of stopping and resting, you should keep moving. Keep moving. That's better for it. So, you would think, oh, I got to get off it, I got to rest it, and all that. But they're encouraging moving. Not that you shouldn't stop at all, you know what I mean? But yeah, so anyhow, so with the world, again, this is ending a chapter. There's a chapter ending in your life, your completion. You've learned a lot about what you're meant to learn and realize, and now you're moving on. Some of this could be about either your health or your defenses, your ego, okay? In the Nine of Rods, sometimes we're defending ourselves at work. There's some sort of thing that I'm not being treated fairly and I'm not going to have it. And I'm drawing a line and I'm not, I'm not, this is going to be fair, okay? And you're really defending yourself, okay? But also this is the rods is about our ego. And we can become so defensive that we don't let anybody in. We're like, no, 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 you're wrong, and that's it, and that's all. And not giving an inch at all. You know what I mean? Like, not negotiable. This is non-negotiable. Okay. So, I think this is something that is ending. This is what's changing in your life, is this defensiveness. Because it's interesting with at the Nine of Rods, okay? We are not giving up. You are not crossing this line, and I'll fight to the death about this. This is like how firm and how strong you feel about this. And then in the very next card, we're thinking, this is really a weight on me. And I'm always stressed all the time, and I'm fighting this fight alone. Is it really worth it? Am I really happy here or at this job or at this place or, whatever it is you're fighting for? Is it giving you everything that you're fighting for about it? You know what I mean? And so you may realize that this very thing you're fighting for is part of the problem. It's part of your, they call it that glass cage. It looks beautiful, but it's still a cage. Or the money pit house, like the gorgeous house, but the bills and all the work that's involved in maintaining this is exhausting, and you're a slave to it. You can never go out and enjoy anything because you're always having to be there, attend this, do this. So it kind of feels like you may very soon decide, think about this very differently, change your ideas, because then in the high priest we decide, you know what, I keep saying that I'm going to go walking and I never go walking. Well, I'm going to start walking. And I also want to take up my spirituality, and I really want to do that. I have all the stuff, but I don't devote any of my day to it at all. So I'm going to start devoting, just before I go to bed or as soon as I get up, or some moment consistently every day, a devotion, right? In the high priest, we meet devotion. And so, but it's in, because you treat your body really well when you you have respect for yourself, you have respect to others, for others. There's a structure. Okay, a structure. Sometimes this represents the organization. Like it says, you could be defending yourself against an organization, the hospital, the prison, the government, that you feel is stepping over the line, crossing a line. This is who you could have the issue with. But you may get good news. You may get good news, but this news may disconnect you from that or them or somehow. Okay. Anyway, like I said, you're needing structure and devotion to yourself, those around you, and routine. Okay. The other thing about the church and the hospital and the education system and all that, it's routine. It's a routine, and you can count on it. That's every Monday at 7. And they always have this rule about that, and they have to park here. And you know what I mean? It's like all set, and that's what this, high priest is about. But I think you could get some good news. Action is taken in a positive way. You could, however, I feel like it involves perhaps not being there anymore, leaving. You can do this, but you'll have to do that. It says shift somehow, and you feel disconnected, or you don't feel treated fairly, or also you may feel there's others who disagree, or just disagree. But I don't know if you know that for sure. You're thinking it. So again, you need to connect outside with some sort of routine that involves doing good things, like getting outside, eating good food, and some sort of devotion. Okay. Devotion can be meditation. It can be just writing, just getting some thoughts down. And writing doesn't have to be it can be your ideas, things that right now you feel like you can't, like inspiration, your creativity, some of those brilliant thoughts, Gemini, because you do have a lot of brilliant thoughts. Here in the future, so with the Queen in reverse here, usually she is out for truth. She speaks the truth and is confident, but a little defensive. Not as defensive as in the 9 of Rods. Just careful. She's careful. You know what I mean? She might come off a little bit cold. You may come off a little bit cold. But you have a huge heart. You're deeply emotional and sweet. And she is in reverse. And so usually the Queen of Swords gains wisdom. Like she listens to what's being said and considers it, and considers who it's coming from, what it's about, what else is going on. She doesn't make rash decision or feel personal about information or other people's, what they're saying, but in reverse, you do. You're there could be some sort of bitterness going on a little bit from the past. This is about to change, I'm telling you. And it says that you need to gain wisdom in exchange for bitterness to grow, to grow. Because you're going through this huge growth time. Along with the high priestess. So the high priestess is about taking time, trusting your intuition. Again, I was feeling like I was really seeing writing. This could be songwriting, poetry, your thoughts, anything, And although you can type on a computer, you can text on your phone. The act of actual writing is extremely therapeutic. It's the difference between playing a gardening game on your computer and actually gardening outside and getting your hands dirty and it's you get a lot of good thinking done, a lot of things worked out, gardening or writing. I encourage both. But anyway, in the high priestess, she consults her book of knowledge, her book that she doesn't necessarily share, which makes me think of journaling, songwriting, stuff like that. Your stories, and she consults that in times of confusion to gain clarity. There also, you may know something or feel there is hidden knowledge in some way that isn't being revealed at this time, and you may be right. You may be right. You also may have hidden knowledge about the situation that you may reveal, okay? And you're thinking about it. You're considering this. And the interesting thing is that the difference between the Queen of Swords in reverse and the High Priestess is the Queen of Swords in reverse would use the information. She'd say, off with your head. Sorry. You did that too late. Sorry, you're off with your head. Whereas the High Priestess says, Well, so that means, and you kind of lay it all out in front of yourself. What does that mean for so-and-so? What does that mean for me? And how could I use this to my advantage? Not in a manipulation way, but to help the wrinkles instead of make them. Okay? Help the wrinkles instead of make them. I just made that up. That's a Lynn original, just to let you know. So there's something about an unfair situation. Okay, you have the Justice in reverse. Something or an unfair judgment. You could have felt judged harshly. This could have been a work situation where you were working perhaps for a big company. Like I said, it's a big company that has all this structure and rules, like the hospital or the education system in some way. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's kind of advice here, all right? And it said the smartest way to heal this situation or to gain peace is to remain silent. Because normally you're going to show up and you're going to fight and you're going to prove yourself. I don't care what all of you think. I'm here and I know who I am. But in this situation, you may decide to remain silent. You're thinking, if I go and I face them and have this conversation, it's just going to keep going on and on and on. So, nah, I don't think so. I think there's this shift coming in where you're really looking at things wisely. You're gaining the Hermit and the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords insight in this journey. Okay? And I don't care how old you are, you could be 17 or you could be 72. But this is a growth period for you. And it's like elder wisdom. This is elder wisdom. This is wise beyond your years wisdom. And this is something you could really hold on to in your life. It could be a guiding light, actually, and some sort of devotion, a belief that you're going to hold on to now. And it's something to do with love and compassion. It's giving up some sort of bitterness over a wrong. You were wronged somehow here, and I believe you. I believe you. I think you were. But don't let it hold you back, because it is because this is a fight you may just have to let go of, right? And so anyway, so you also may start to share your resources instead of hold on to them. So in some ways this might happen. You might start to give away some of your things. You might do a big purge and you say, why am I holding on to this stuff that I have to dust? And, what am I going to do with it? What am I doing with it? Zero. You're like really like having this really nice Gemini balanced thought, right? Using those two minds. And so you may do a purge. You may start sharing what you have or giving. You also might start investing, in something instead of saving and putting everything and stashing everything and keeping everything. I'm not giving nothing away. Hoarding, in a way. So you might decide to really do a clear out. Also, you may decide to invest at this time. So what else? Oh, when I was doing clarification, you got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is a new beginning. You got two aces here, Ace of Rod, Ace of Cups. This is your new beginning. Okay, you're crossing over here. You're deciding to give up this old way, the ego in a way, a part of the ego, and start to live in a new way, think in a new way, feel. And in the Ace of Cups is we are giving. You're also open to accepting love. You're open. Before those gates could have been closed, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, you like me. And now you're like, really? You like me? Oh my God. Thank you so much. I really like you too. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. It's really open and friendly and happy, because you want, see this here, see that, you want those connections, that's what you want. You want growth in your life. And so you're just opening this floodgate. Again, it's connection with water. So you're really connecting to your emotions this month, being honest. Okay. And like I said, I think you should literally connect with water in some way. And then your last card I drew for you is you got big, bold vision. Okay. So, with this Ace of Rods, and like I said, this is because you could have decided to leave a job that you may have been working for 25 years, and that could be a nurse, you could be a millwright, I don't know. But you're thinking, geez, I have a lot of experience. I'm the hermit, I'm the wise person in this area, and not really sure how to market it or what to do with it. And so you may get a new idea or go and explore those resources, because the page of rods is very inquisitive, very curious about, well, what could I do? Like, oh, I've got a rod. I know that I have some experience and a willingness to learn. This is a willingness to learn. Okay. So anyway, this is about a great big grand vision. Okay, you either get a really big idea or an opportunity to be part of a big deal, some sort of big thing that's starting, or that has anyway, you're being invited to be a part of it. Okay, but they want someone healthy on their team, ready to devote themselves to this, right? And also, the other thing is, too, I want to touch on, knowing that the Queen of Swords is here, the Justice, the Nine of Rods, is you could actually be involved in the law in some way. Some of you, so you could actually have been a prosecutor, or the one on the attack before, where you helped take things, or were harsh on people, and you could switch sides at this point and go on the defense and help people, or help them regain, or something really different, cool, and you are inspired. Okay, in some ways you may not feel like you're good enough, or you're smart enough, or geez, I can't work in a hospital. I used to be a mechanic, me being that in clean environment, or vice versa, scientist going and working on boat motors, something like this. But we have opposites, right? We have opposites, and that's very much you. But it's saying that this vision is for you. This is for you. You need to let go of limited thinking, like I can't, or they won't, or how could I, or, it's not going to work out for me. Let go of that. Stop that. Stop that. Okay? You need an affirmation that something like what's coming to me, my life is unfolding in a wonderful way, like something like that is, you know that this is good for you. Anyway, I want to read you a little bit of this, of what it says. Okay. So you have the ability to dream big, even if you have absolutely no idea about how your vision can come to pass, or what all the details may look like. You can access the heart and the guts of a vision by tapping into your wildest dreams and surrendering attachment to exactly how it will work out. All right? There is a vision or idea that is coming to you. You may worry that it's too much for you, but don't. It's meant to be yours. A sign that you are cracking out of your limited thinking is that you might feel a little dizzy with the shrinking limitations and expanding possibilities. You may wonder if you're allowed to access so much wonder. Wonder. Anyway, so you are about to receive or be invited to become part of a big vision. It has the makings of something fantastic. No matter how the journey that brings this vision into reality unfolds, there's twists and turns that you don't see coming, but it's helpful for you to be open to it. Trust yourself. Be still with your choices. And when the time is right, act, leap. And here's that high priestess. Be still with your choices. And be still, before you make choices. That's what both the high priestess and the hermit does. The hermit, you weren't taking the time. You weren't before taking the time to be still, to think about this. Could have been rash, acting rashly, but now you're doing that. Now you're doing that. Trust in what you perceive, even if it conflicts with what everyone else around you is saying, or the surface of things. Trust your inner perceptions. They are accurate and will be proven to be so later on. Trust that things will be coming up roses for you, even if things seem to be in a bit of a shambles right now. I like that word, shambles. It's really just the essential mess before a truly spectacular success. Isn't that amazing? And look at the card. Look at, beautiful. She's got, that's the bumblebee up on her crown there. And the scarab, I think. What is that? Or the beetle? The scarab or the beetle. Both of these are signs of creation. They pollinate and create life, feed many, contribute to many. The bee makes honey and pollinates things, and it does all kinds of things, this little thing. You know what I mean? So it's a huge sign of creation. Oh, wow. Okay. I want to mention just quickly, too, that I just thought of, is in the High Priest, it's wanting you to focus and take a little time to breathe and ground yourself, like some sort of grounding. And like I said, a devotion in some way, okay? But it's more about yourself, getting yourself I just thought of the races, like Dale Earnhardt and all those great big races they have in the States, and even over in France. And they spend a lot of time getting this car ready for the big day, And even throughout the race, there's pit stops where the car can get refueled and the tires repumped up and then it's off again to do another part of the journey, And this is you. You're in this big race, the big rally. It's like a rally, and there's checkpoints that you're going through here, okay? And the things, you learn things along the way as you're competing in this kind of rally, and how that it's better for you, let's say, for example, to pause for breakfast before you go off racing for the day, because your mind is more focused, you think better, you can plan better, And you know what I mean? Like just stuff like that. You know, you're more aware when you're driving, that sort of thing. You know, you get the idea. Anyhow, coolio. Oh, I would really love to hear how this is coming to pass in your life. Because it's really, really interesting. It's such a huge time of growth for you, and it's going to change your life. I'm going to tell you, Gemini, right now, it's going to change your life. You're going to be writing me, hopefully, in 1 to 3 months and saying, you know, that reading back in September, Lynn, you were right. I really made some huge changes, and I really like some of the new ways that new things I'm embracing in my life. You know, I feel you may feel even ethically better. It could be something ethical going on here, and so you may feel ethically better about whatever. Okay. Awesome. Well, anyway, Gemini, I really hope you enjoy this video, and I will be talking to you soon. Love you so much. Bye.